Bien, queridos estudiantes, seguimos. Ahora continuamos con el tema en la página 59. 59. Gustar y otros verbos similares. Bien, gustar y otros verbos similares. ¿Recuerdan el uso de gustar en la clase de español anterior? En gustar. Vamos ahora a aprender cómo usar gustar con otros verbos que se comportan de la misma forma. Bien, aquí tenemos gustar, to like, is the most common of a group of verbs in Spanish that requires an indirect object. Now we know what is an indirect object. So the literal equivalent in English is to be pleasing. To be pleasing, bien. The subject in English, in the English sentence is expressed by an indirect object in Spanish, while the person, thing, or action liked is the subject of gustar. Let's take a look. Aquí tenemos, let's remember how gustar works. A plus indirect object or indirect object pronoun. Bien, gustar is the subject. Vamos a ver acá, subject goes with in green here. Subject to like, direct object. Now let's put this formula with real words. A mí, a, me, indirect object, me. We're going to use me in this case because we have a preposition a. And this is an exception to the rule. Irregular, this is called a prepositional pronoun. A preposition, me pronoun. A mí, me. Bien, a mí, me. Me, indirect object pronoun. Gustan, gustan las artes. Las artes is the subject, okay? In this case, we write backwards. Las artes, subject, gustan, verb, object, me, to me. A mí, me. I am the object. In this case, indirect object. Bien, vamos a ver aquí. I like the arts. Literally, the arts are pleasing to me. The arts are pleasing to me. We go from right to left. That's how we use gustar. From right to left. Subject, verb, object. Normally, the way we write is from left to right, subject, verb, object. For example, I drink coffee. Subject, verb, object. But gustar, when we use the verb gustar, is backwards. Okay? Now, las artes, because it's plural, we say gustan. Las artes gustan. ¿To whom? ¿A quién? A mí. Bien. Gustan is conjugated with las artes, not with me, with las artes, which is the subject, and is placed at the end. Okay, vamos a ver una vez más. Although mainly seen in the third person singular and plural, gustar can be conjugated in all persons and tenses. Me gustas mucho. Me, to me, object. Gustas, tú, mucho. Tú, how do you know that I'm talking about you? Because of gustas. The conjugation of gustar is as. Translation, I like you very much. In other words, you are very pleasing to me. Bien. So most of the times we use gustar with either gustan or gusta, but it is possible also to conjugate with all persons and tenses. ¿Crees que le gusto a Elena? Do you think Elena likes me? Le, indirect object, pronoun. Gusto. Gusto. In this case, I. Gusto, because it's O. Gusto. A Elena. Le a Elena. Indirect object. Do you think I am pleasing to Elena? Bien. Okay, here another direction or rule. In English, there are verbs that function in similar ways to gustar, such as to seem or to bother. The reaction bothers me. The reaction bothers me. Su reacción me molesta. Me molesta. You can say also me molesta su reacción. Either or. Su reacción, subject. Me, to me. The reaction does something to me. What does it do? Molesta, bothers me. Bien. To them, she seems very nice. Ella les parece simpática. Parece, to seem, simpática. Ella les parece simpática. Bien. Here we have already two verbs that behave like gustar, molestar y parecer. The subject is often not explicit in this structure, especially if it has been mentioned previously. If you have mentioned the subject previously, you don't need to say it again. ¿Te gustan mis botas nuevas? ¿Te gustan mis botas nuevas? The subject. So now we're mentioning it. It's the first sentence. Do you like my new boots? And I would say, me gustan muchísimo. Me gustan muchísimo. Do I need to mention botas nuevas again? No, because I know that you're talking about your new boots. Me, to me, gustan muchísimo. Me gustan what? Las botas nuevas. We know that we're talking about the same thing. Muchísimo. We know the superlatives. Remember from chapter 1. I love them. I like them a lot, in other words. To clarify or emphasize the indirect object pronoun, use the prepositional a phrase. A mí, a ti, a Pedro. And this is what I just mentioned a few seconds ago. A mí is a prepositional phrase. A mí. A ti. To me, to you, to Pedro, and so on. A mí me, just to emphasize, you don't need to say a mí me. You can say me gusta la música, but in order to emphasize, you would use this prepositional phrase. A mí me gusta la música clásica, pero a mi compañero de casa no le gusta nada. I like classical music. A mí me gusta la música. A mí me. I really like, in other words, I'm emphasizing. But my roommate doesn't like it at all. But my roommate, compañero de casa, in other words, but to my roommate, it is not pleasing at all. Doesn't like it at all. Bien. Aquí tenemos the order of the elements in a sentence is variable, although more often than not, the subject appears of after the verb, sorry. The emphasis in each case is different. So although more often than not, the subject appears after the verb, period, the emphasis in each case is different. Me gusta el chocolate. A mí me gusta el chocolate. El chocolate me gusta. El chocolate me gusta a mí. Bien, you can switch the order of these words and it doesn't really change too much the meaning. Only if you use the prepositional phrase, it will be emphasizing. El chocolate me gusta. That's enough. A mí. You're being specific and you're emphasizing that you really like chocolate. Bien. To ask who likes, use a quien le gusta or gustan. Bien. For example, ¿a quién le gusta el chocolate? To whom chocolate is pleasing? Or who likes chocolate? A mí no. To me, no? Or I do, I don't. It's pleasing to me, it's not pleasing to me. Okay, same thing. The answer is in an indirect object, never the subject. You never say yo, él, and so on. You have to say a mí, a ti, a él, etc. To ask what someone likes, use que. The indirect object and gusta. Por ejemplo, ¿qué te gusta? What do you like? El chocolate. Chocolate. If you want to say what does she like? ¿Qué le gusta? Bien. The answer, the thing light, is a subject, not an object in the response. Chocolate. Muy bien, entonces aquí vamos a ver que tenemos... Ok, aquí nos detenemos para empezar un nuevo video en unos segundos. Gracias.